and welcome to Ship of Fools, a nautical D&D actual play podcast. My name is Hannah McLean, and I am, as always, your dungeon master on this nautical adventure. Joining me today, I have Andy Latai,
Finn Fisher,
Nolani Stevenson,
Reagan Stockweather,
and Taylor Wallace.
Malachi Kassir.
And we are back. So, let's do a little recap of the current situation, and then we can dive right in.
Current.
Wow, true. Last session, the boys were on the main central hub of Erebraer, the king's court, speaking with the druid king of Erebraer, who they'd managed to convince to allow them to go to Mar Cuan, the dwarven mining city, and help defend it from an onslaught of invaders who seemed to be trying to break through Mar Cuan's, massive rock walls to get to the many precious minerals and metals that are mined there. You managed to convince the king that you could be the extra forces that he'd been looking for to send to help reinforce Mar Cuan, and headed off there along with Alden, who asked to come with you under your mutual suspicion that Dr. Rhaelthor might be involved in the onslaught on Mar Cuan. Pretty much as soon as you arrived, you found that the mining city was indeed under attack. Only a few minutes after your arrival, a massive drill burst through the rock wall, allowing for an onpour of Lithios troops, including some, massive metal constructs that came along with them. You joined the battle and helped to turn the tide in Mar Cuan's favor. This initial wave was repelled, and Lithios called a retreat, going back out through the hole they'd made, and the drill, sort of pulled back and fell into the ocean, as it intended to. It was clearly an intentional movement. It didn't just, fall. Yeah, sorry.
Man, that would have been awesome if it just fell unintentionally. That's it, guys.
They totally fucked up. Not sure what happened there. But not before you all glimpsed a familiar silhouette that looked suspiciously like Dr. Rhaelthor through the drill's front windows.
Very distinctive rat-like silhouette.
Yeah, however, in the midst of all of that, a Duragar man who looks suspiciously like Regin has climbed up to the ledge where the four of you had been making quite an impression with your magic and Finn's terrifying otherworldly form.
What about our brute strength, Hannah?
And your brute strength, yeah, your power. But Finn did hover up from the ocean and then crumple himself into a ball to go inside a robot.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more impressive than...
Oh god, yeah. I forgot you did your fucking squinch thing.
I was a formless lump of flesh.
Yeah, but what about in the podcast?
And this Durdagar man, who you can presume to be Rhaelthor, is now standing on this ledge with you as the battle dies down, as the drill falls back into the sea, as you see the forces of Mar Cuan start to celebrate repelling the initial attack and also assess, are there more coming? What's going to happen next? You see this Duragar warrior has no eyes for the rest of the activity around him, but is just staring directly at Regin. It's like looking in a taller mirror. My god.
Funhouse.
You're gonna have to set the tone of this conversation, man, because I don't know where to go from.
Regin, I think that's him.
I mean, I haven't
Who?
had a lot of conversations with long-lost sons either.
Oh.
You look just like her. You've got her hair.
Her hair, yeah.
Her eyes. Ugh.
Hey, Finn.
Yeah?
Finn, when you met your mom, what did you do?
Oh, let me see. It was, well, actually pretty similar. Yeah, she also showed up when we were in the middle of a fight.
This wasn't that long ago.
I told her I was proud of her. I'm not sure if that applies here. But I mean, he's a pretty formidable warrior. I told her I didn't miss her, which now that I think about it, maybe was a little harsh. And then she gave me a sick trident.
Did you ever meet this guy at all? I forget.
No, I've never met him before in my life. I'm just named after him.
Ask if he has any tridents.
Did he ditch or did your mom ditch?
He ditched, and then she ditched. Everybody ditched.
Well, yeah, but, like, did he ditch her first? Like, is this like a fuck you, like, he knew about you and just ditched? Or was this like a, hey, this guy didn't know he had a son?
Good question. Hold, please. Did you stick around until I was born, or had you dipped at that point?
Also, do you have any tridents?
He shakes his head and sort of like as the three of you had this little sidebar, he's kind of been like wiping some of the blood off of his war pick. Sort of, he's pretty like, clearly he was in a fight before he crawled up to you guys, so he's still like covered in battle wounds and sort of, there's also a bunch of, from all these constructs, there's a bunch of like oil around in this battlefield, so that's all over the place as well as the blood.
Ooh, Malachi scoops some up and...
Bizarre thing to do.
Oh yeah, I start rubbing it on Malachi's joints.
But he hasn't really taken his eyes off of Regin. And as you say this, he kind of gets like a pained look in his eyes, and he's like, no, it's a long... I didn't mean to go off and leave, I assure you,
Yeah, we've all been there.
Well, who are,
No, keep talking to your son.
No, who are you?
Ignore us, I say while wiping grease on Malachi.
We're not here.
Yeah, no, he's got a point.
I can't say I have any tridents. I have this war pick, and we've got plenty others where this came from.
I whisper to Regin, don't worry, we'll get you a trident.
I don't want a trident.
Oh, okay, more for me.
Yeah, no, that's your thing. Shut up, I'm trying to Dad?
Yes. You want to try it again? Get more confident?
No, it feels weird.
Yeah, you can call me Rhaelthor if it's...
All right,
what can I, are you...
Bucko,
That's not his name.
This is Finn Fisher, son of the Lurker,
Hi!
cultist.
I am still in my form of the Lurker, so I look like a horrible monster man.
He's normally a little cuter than that. Mm. And this is Malachi Kassir, traitor to the Empire.
Nice.
A lot of other good stuff about him, too.
Hey, that's a pretty good start.
Malachi glowers suspiciously a little bit.
And, they call me Regin, because when I was small, I couldn't really say the whole Rhaelthor and it just kind of got shortened, because not a lot of people could read runes anyways, and so...
No.
So it's just... yeah.
Regin. Hey, that's a fine name, and I'm glad that she did tell you that it was Rhaelthor, and I wasn't...
Yeah, I mean, she gave me this, and I pull out my focus necklace that has the tooth and the hagstone that has the name scribed on it. Mm-hmm. So...
He takes a couple steps closer, like he wants to, like, hold it.
I hand it to him.
Yeah, he, like, rubs his thumb over the stone, and he's like, oh, I remember I left this. Told her to give it to you, told her I'd be back in a few months. And then, well, I did come back. I did. We had no money, you see. It was, Let's make sure that we're not about to get attacked by another wave
do you want to
of soldiers.
We can table this.
Yes.
We can table this until we're like in a
perhaps.
Alden, come here.
Yeah, Alden's been like.
Is he tagging him in?
He's kind of over toward the edge of this like ledge that you guys were fighting on, sort of like looking down and toward the hole where a bunch of already you can see that a bunch of the forces from Mar Cuan are like going over to the hole and like starting to like drag the rocks that were smashed through and like starting to block the hole so that it won't stop an actual onslaught at this point, but at least it would make it harder to get through. They're sort of erecting this makeshift barricade. Alden, like, looks over his shoulder as you come up, Regin, and sort of raises an eyebrow.
Come here.
I rush over to the barricade and cradle Eponine in my arms.
The water from the ocean splashes over her. She's like, oh, rain.
A little fall of rain. I beckon him over, and if he comes over, I kind of like...
You alright?
Put my arm around his shoulders and cast Cure Wounds.
Oh. Wow.
My little wings come out for a second there. Rolled a 1.
It's a thought that counts.
So he's just gonna get a cool 5 HP, but hopefully it zips something closed.
Yeah, you see him, like, straighten up a little, and you see one of the gash across his chest that, like, sliced through his armor knit itself up a little bit, and he's like, thanks. Is that your dad?
Yep. Is father?
You could try father? Pops?
Pops.
I don't know if that's...
Does he have a title?
This is Alden.
Nice to meet you.
He and I were in jail together.
Yeah,
I'll unpack that later.
that's true.
I lean down to the dying woman in my arms. Not the only thing they were in together, if you catch my drift.
Rhaelthor's like, I'm not sure if I should be proud of you or disappointed, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm not sure if you're gonna be proud of or not, but we'll get to that.
Hey, I'm pretty proud of you for surviving the, what's it been, 24 years? So, that's no small feat in this ocean.
24?
I don't know!
Alright, sure.
Wait, how old did you think you were?
I don't really think about it all that.
I thought this was...
Hey, do you even know his birthday?
No! I wasn't there!
Damn, I also don't know my birthday.
Sorry, Regin, I
Well,
tried.
we could make it today. That would be kind of cute. I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, my resume says I can play 18 to 30, so...
You see that Einkill, the bard who teleported you guys here,
Wow, I forgot about that guy.
he, like, swings down from a higher ledge, coming down on one of these ropes that seem to be the main way that people do vertical movement. Kind of like...
An elevator rope.
Yeah, there's, like...
Like a fireman pole?
Yeah, they're like fireman poles, and, like, rope ladders and stuff like that, that everyone that you can see is extremely strong here.
No one else just jumps.
Hey, there's no combat right now, no need to.
Finn uses the dead body he's cradling to block his shrimpy biceps from sight.
Finn, would you put that down?
I just really feel a connection with her. I don't know what it is.
You've got a girl in the ocean, Finn.
Why is she wearing that stupid hat?
Never insult a lady's hat.
He, like, alights next to all of you, and nods to Rhaelthor, kind of, like, claps him on the shoulder, and is like, looks like they've withdrawn for the time being, probably going to regroup and make another assault, in, we don't know how long, but they don't look like they're approaching right now.
Was there more than one of those drill things?
Not that we've seen. Not that anyone's seen. It looks like that's the main tool, and I suspect if they had one of those, they'd have burst through the walls with it already. So maybe it just got here. But we're going to regroup a bit, telling everyone to block the hole in the wall as best we can, to bandage their wounds, be ready for when the next attack comes, because it will probably come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, right, sorry. You're not, like, in charge here, are you?
No, I'm passing on the message.
Who is?
Einkill, points up at the room that you guys, like, smashed down
You left out of.
through the window from. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I think, take me to you later. No, we have information, that would probably be, useful to whomsoever is in charge of this whole shebang, so we should probably do that first before we have our little, heart-to-heart, right? Right, Mal? That's, like, right?
Yeah, we definitely need to go up there.
Alright.
Einkill nods and he's like, Thuric has the most, we're not really, we haven't a need for a standing army before this month. So Thuric was the one with the most security experience. He got a promotion, so he's up there, and he points up to the room that you guys smashed through the window and jumped down from.
Oh, was he in there when we...
Probably, yeah.
Oh.
He was sort of directing things from up there, so
so he knows that we're badass.
Yeah, Einkill's like, listen, you're allowed to smash through windows if you then proceed to shoot lightning everywhere and turn into a deep-sea abomination and slice robots' arms off.
I didn't do either of those things, so...
Sounds like you're in trouble, Malachi.
So Einkill leads the whole group of you, and you see, like, around you, the Mar Cuan forces are, like, bandaging wounds, moving bodies, both the bodies of the fallen defending warriors and the Lithiosian soldiers that were killed in this. There were definitely quite a few casualties on both sides. You see that those who can just kind of catch their breath and bandage their wounds are doing so. The more seriously injured are being sort of taken up to these, like, caves and passages deeper into the mines.
Hey, Hannah, do I recognize any of the dead bodies?
That's a great question. How close are you looking?
I mean, like, we're on our way upstairs, so I'll just look at the ones that we passed.
Yeah, so I think, like, there's no one that you recognize from, like, a casual look, but if Malachi is, like, looking at them to see if he recognizes any of them, then give me a perception check.
Maybe it's best he doesn't try and do that right now.
So Malachi does some, like, glancing down and sees...
He glances, but he doesn't let himself look too closely at any of them.
Exactly. You make your way up the stairs that you ignored before.
There sure are stairs.
I just fly directly up and go back through the smashed window, because I can still fly.
Yeah, that's true. You can still fly. So Finn gets there before everyone else comes into the smashed window. There's a definite, like, momentary, like, some people, like, whip around and point crossbows at you, and then other people who are paying more close attention to who's on what side are like, no, the scary-looking aberrant man is on our side. We're pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm the cool kind of monstrosity.
That is a scary-looking aberrant boy at best.
No, remember he kissed a girl.
Ah, shit. They grow up so fast.
Also, it's foolish of you to think your weapons could harm me.
The rest of you walk up as this conversation is happening. You see that Einkill, like, leads you over to where you recognize Hefor, one of the others who come with you, and Bera, the other one of your little trio, are already up here talking to a very, like, wide, broad-shouldered dwarf in armor. He's got a helmet on, but you see that his hammer is still, like, slung across his back. He's got a concerned frown on his face, and you see he's listening to Hefor and Bera as they're telling him something, but he's, like, looking. His gaze is trained past them, out through the windows, down at the hole in the wall, which is now being kind of shoddily patched up. He glances over as you all approach, and gives, like, a nod to Einkill. And Einkill's like, Thuric, these are, some of the reinforcements from Erebrer. And you see that, like...
only reinforcements.
Well, behind you guys, there are these, like, the like, Fey Knights that...
Oh. Well, yeah, that's us.
That the king sent with you, who are, like, still, I think, kind of making their way up, sort of helping with some of the people who are still down there. Thuric, like, nods to you and says, welcome, we appreciate your help, although we were sort of hoping for a small army, but, from what I could see, of your performance in the battle, it looks like perhaps you can match a small army on your own.
Or a large one.
How large do you think? Because I don't know if you saw how many soldiers were coming in through that hole, but...
Functionally, we're small to tiny army at best.
All right.
Speak for yourself.
It's better than nothing.
I'm at least a fleet.
I'd rather overestimate than underestimate.
Einkill's like, they said that they have some information about something. He sort of looks expectantly at you.
Oh, yeah.
Mal, how about you go first? Because you know about the Lithiosian military and stuff, and I just know, the gory details on the...
We know that they're after your resources.
Yeah.
I mean, that much seems evident, but we also know some of what they're doing with those resources.
And we know who you're up against. Like, we've fought him before, and Mal here was in the Lithiosian military, and so has insider information. I bet they think traders are really cool. Like, I bet they think traders to the Empire are, like, hardcore, so...
Will you stop saying traitor?
It sounds good.
It doesn't make me sound trustworthy.
It makes you sound badass. So he can tell you a bit about their, maneuvering.
I mean, I was...
Finn, you see, is whispering to, like, another guy sitting there, just being like, oh yeah, this dude absolutely broke the vows he swore to the military. He just walked off like they were nothing.
No.
It was awesome.
No.
He did not keep his word. Hell yeah.
Shut up, Finn.
Thuric crosses his arms and he's like, all right, I don't have a lot of time here. We're going to get attacked again any minute. He, points at Regin and he's like, who precisely, we don't know who's leading this charge. Who are we up against?
Right, so you're up against a little rat bastard by the name of Dr. Corvin Ratvol.
Very powerful rat bastard.
He's a real piece of shit who,
Wizard.
Yeah, seems to have like a thing about like experimenting on people. We'll get into that later. And basically, he's like an arcane engineer, I guess would be a polite way of putting it. And
he's essentially mining and repurposing magic.
So that's how they got a gigantic drill that can go underwater and smash through our walls.
And the big metal guys, the mechs, that would be one of his.
Yes.
And he's probably after like your diamonds, especially. Anything that can be a focus or a component in his work is what he's going to be after. And he's pretty well armed.
You guys go ahead and give me insight checks.
19
also.
Whoa.
I rolled an 18, but that comes to a 23.
Oh, okay. Cool, so all of you catch, as you, start to say, they're probably after your diamonds, after,
Aren't we all?
You catch a, series of exchanged glances. Thuric's gaze is pretty steady. He's, now that he's given his attention to you, he's continuing to look directly at you. But you see, behind his back, Ambera and Einkill, look at each other, and Rhaelthor, raises his eyebrows and shakes his head a little bit. And with those insight checks, you guys can interpret that, they think he's after something else, something specific. They just don't want to tell you.
Do you have a cube?
They're after his Lucky Charms!
Hey, you don't happen to have anything else that they might be interested in, do you? Any powerful magical artifacts with mysterious origins and purposes?
Anything cube-shaped?
Would that change the situation if we did?
Quite possibly.
I guess not immediately, just sort of raise the stakes a little.
He continues just leveling you with that steady gaze, and then he says, there are many things that we have mined, that would be best to keep Lithios's hands off of.
We can't let him get your Bitcoin.
Exactly. The computer processing power we're using on that is insane.
You thought it was warm down here because of geothermal energy? Nah, man, that's my server farm.
You guys notice that actually in the back of this, there's this massive bank of computers.
No.
Oh, this guy's gonna buy some supplements for sure.
So Thoric, nods in agreement and says that about there being many things to keep out of the Empire's hands. And then he's like, well, And he like raises his voice a little bit so that you can see there's a number of other people who've gathered around here. The Arab Rare Knights have come in at this point and are standing toward the side of the room. And you see Thoric says, "The number one thing that we need to do is to get rid of that drill. That thing can smash through. There's no point in us building this barricade if a drill like that is just going to crash through it again."
It's just somewhere sexy to lay your corpses.
So, he turns to Einkill, and he's like, "Do we know where this drill went?" And Einkill, and you can see that his eyes have this slight, like, silver sheen to them that wasn't there before, and this almost, like, sparkles in them, like he's casting clairvoyance or scrying or some other spell that's allowing him to see outside of Mar Cuan.
Yo, this guy fucks.
Is he hot?
I hope I'm not related to him.
Yeah, he's like bald and has this big beard.
Is he less than half my height?
Yes.
That could work in some ways, but...
He frowns and is like, we can... It's not where I can immediately see it, but give me a few minutes, I can have an answer for you.
Finn, ping the fish.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, down there. Anyone see where that huge drill went?
What's your range on talking to fish?
Oh, it's 120. If I'm too
Okay.
far away, then I'll fly back down and check with them and then fly back up.
Yeah, the fish that are in here you can talk to. And they're like, "Oh, it went back out into the ocean."
1 second. I fly down to the bottom of the pit, so I'm at the surface of the ocean, and try again.
Okay. Yeah, you can, you put a call out to all the fish that are sort of within range, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it, backed up a little bit, like, away. We can't see it, but if you, like, went over there, the other fish that are around there could tell you, I bet."
Okay. I swim over that direction.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is, you know the general direction of, or the, like, general location of the drill.
Okay.
You do some investigating, Finn, and some asking the fish without getting too close. I will say, from still, like, within safe waters, you can talk to the fish, and they're sort of like, "Oh, yeah, it's back there with a whole bunch of other underwater ships, and, like, above water ships, and soldiers, and stuff like that around it."
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Are you having a good day?
I mean, I've certainly had worse days. I'd say it's, like, okay. Yeah.
Wow. We're having a pretty bad day.
Oh, well, let me see if I can't brighten it up for you.
Wow. Thanks.
And so I swim back and fly back up to the control room. I was like, okay, so 3 things, really. 1, it went that way, and I indicate the proper direction. Mm-hmm. 2, it is now currently at rest, surrounded by a whole bunch of other underwater ships and above water ships.
Oh, wonderful.
No other drills, though, at least. 3, were you planning on doing anything with the soldiers that we killed? Like their bodies?
The
Finn.
Mar Cuan forces sort of look at each other, and Thoric is like, "We hadn't really gotten that far yet. Probably we'd just do what people normally do with enemy combatants that are killed."
Is that tossing them down into that hole into the water? So some very helpful little fellas down there can feast upon them?
Thoric gives you, like, a little bit of a confused look and is like, "Probably return them to the sea once this is all over."
Okay. Sounds great. And, you know, maybe you could, like, season them a little, too.
Okay, we'll deal... I don't know what you're doing.
Finn, this
you're
seems very...
terrifying looking, and we'll deal with this later.
Listen, there's a bunch of maybe carnivorous fish down there who I would like to thank for their help, and I think there's no better way to do that than with a snack.
You see, Einkill sort of leans over to Rhaelthor and is like, "I don't think our fish are carnivorous." And Rhaelthor's like, "Maybe they could be."
They've been having a rough day.
Hey, sometimes when I have a rough day, I really just want to eat some bacon, you know, like...
Fish eat people.
Or I don't know, listen, maybe not bodies. If you don't think the fish are carnivorous, if you've got any sort of stuff that fish do eat.
Okay.
I've learned that fish are very food-motivated creatures.
Back to the matter at hand. We need someone to disable that drill. I think it would be best if we could send a group to get inside in some way.
Malachi long-sufferingly raises his hand.
Yeah. No, just it's gonna be us.
He wasn't looking at you guys. He was, like, looking at Einkill, and
We can all breathe underwater.
Finn is already standing at the smashed window about to leap out of it again.
he was looking at, like, Einkill and Rhaelthor, like he was going to, but then he sort of...
Oh, that's a way to kill a dad if I've ever seen one.
As soon as you say we can all breathe underwater, he, like, looks back to you and is like, can you? Because that is a major barrier to any of us getting to this we can't breathe underwater.
Yeah, we can all breathe underwater.
Oh, yeah.
Finn can, commune with all of the creatures of the sea, and is also the son of one of the more powerful and terrifying sea gods.
I have a lot going on.
Ooh.
He really does. And, we've done this kind of thing before, so...
Regin wants personal revenge on this guy.
But let me have some mystique here.
I want personal revenge on this guy.
I also want personal revenge on this guy, goes Alden. So, while we're all...
Me too, I guess.
Yeah, all right. I do want personal revenge.
All right.
I certainly don't like him.
Thoric is like, well, that's a good motivator. If you're willing to go, you take a moment, you all look like you've...
Well, who are you gonna send?
Yeah, were you just gonna, like, drown some guy?
We have spellcasters, but if their resources can be used elsewhere, our cleric's 3rd level slots are much better served on healing the people who are dying than on casting water breathing. So...
Spellcasters underwater boat attack.
What are you asking?
I was just trying to spell the word scuba.
Thoric is like, take time, bandage your wounds, and then let us know if you need anything.
Hey, can maybe you guys bandage some of our wounds? I only have so many slots here.
Yes. He waves to a few, you see, like, a sort of, so, like, back in a separate room from this one, but another room in this, like, this complex that looks more like an office building than a war center. But there's another room where this, like triage center has been set up, and he, like, waves over one of the clerics. You see this, like, kind of harried-looking dwarven woman with this, holy symbol of Moradin, the god of forges and dwarves, this, like, minor... one of the younger gods. She comes over and sort of like rubs her hands together and assesses all of you, and will cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on Alden, a 2nd level on Regin, and then a 1st level on the other 2 of you. So Alden gets back 16 hit points. Regin, you regain 10 hit points. And then Finn, you get...
The max amount.
Oh, wow, true. She goes to cast the spell on you, and Nurgle, like, soars in through the window, goes, ah! And you see the light coming out from her hand, like, knits your wounds up even more, and she, like, looks a little startled, and no one really knows what to do with you, Finn. They're all very appreciative that you're
I'm a
here,
great
but...
patient.
Yeah.
Finn conjures a lollipop out of thin air.
And Malachi, you regain 8.
What is the max amount? How much did I get?
11.
Nice.
Thoric, by this point, has sort of said, like, let us know if you need any other resources or what we can help you with. And he moves away to deal with something else about the crisis currently besetting his home. You see, Rhaelthor sort of, claps, like, both Regin and Malachi on the shoulders.
How? Does he jump?
Yeah, it's true. He reaches up.
He's got Slenderman arms.
And it's like your shoulder blades.
His arms drag along the ground like an orangutan.
No,
my dad's hot.
Malachi looks at Regin and like, I'm not his son.
Finn looks on jealously.
Yeah, Finn is still slimy, and so no one wants to touch him.
I look expectantly at Alden.
Alden kind of shrugs to you, like, I guess this is what we get for standing on the ends. And Rhaelthor's like, let's not, sit around in this room with all this activity. Come this way.
Yeah, got a place where you can get a drink.
So he leads you all down, like, back down the stairs, and then sort of, like, back into one of these mining tunnels.
As we're, like, crossing the chamber, I want to take a moment and, like, when no one's looking, just, like, kick one of the bodies into the hole that leads to the ocean.
Finn, they might drink out of there.
Sure, there's enough activity that you're able to do this. The fish that, like, live in this little central pool are like, whoa! What? Another one!
Make sure to share!
What? Can we eat this?
Sure! Maybe, I don't actually know.
Whoa.
What you've got going on, jaws and digestive system-wise, specifically.
Finn just carnivorized fish.
Aren't most fish fish aren't herbivores?
I don't know, man.
No, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, I think most fish eat other smaller fish.
Hang on.
Yeah, but they've never eaten a person.
They can nibble, just take a little bite.
Maybe all these fish are exactly the same size.
The majority of marine fish are omnivorous.
Yeah.
Ah.
So they are experiencing a new experience, but they're kind of like, whoa, and then one of them, you hear Finn, as you're starting to walk away, you hear one of them go, whoa, guys, maybe we can.
I'm so proud of them.
Some snee snails tend to be herbivorous.
Snake snail.
Huh.
But everybody else is an omnivore.
So the sea snails down here are getting screwed, but everybody else...
Hey, at least everybody else is leaving the salad bar alone.
Everybody else is gaining a taste for human flesh, so good job, Finn.
Now that's my kind of cycle.
Rhaelthor leads you guys off into one of these, like, mining tunnels that go away from the central, like, open room. You see that there are, like, these, like I mentioned, like, tracks that have mine carts on them, pickaxes leaned up against the wall, and, like, most, like, mining equipment has kind of been tossed to the side and clearly been laying there for a little while as everyone has had to learn to do war instead. But there are still kind of like stuff around here. And he leads you back to a not too far away, but far enough that the sounds of everyone dealing with the aftermath of the battle gets kind of quieter and muted. And you can just sort of hear the like drip, drip, drip of the caverns. And he leads you to a place where the walls widen out, this sort of cave with these stalactites and stalagmites.
Oh, not this shit again.
And these, like, this gemstone vein of these, like, green emeralds, or something that looks like that, these crystals, kind of, like, running through the wall, seemingly mostly untouched. It doesn't look like malachite, but it is green, running through the wall.
Malachi raises his arms like, hey!
Yeah. And there are some, like, crates and chairs and stuff around here, as if this is a place where people will sometimes come to hang out. And Rhaelthor sort of, like, pulls a crate and levers off the lid of it with his pickaxe and pulls out some, like, bottles of dwarven beer. And he's like, not too much, we don't want to dull the senses, but I figured we could all use it after all that.
Okay, Dad.
Do you have any lemonade?
I don't have lemonade in my crate in this cave, no. Sorry.
Finn, I'm sorry.
I mean, I've had beer before. It's just not as good.
You have?
I had a life before you.
I guess you did. Wow. That's fucked up.
Can you believe this shit?
You've met my parents. You've been to my hometown.
I know, it's weird to think about.
He hands the drinks out and sort of like sits down heavily on one of these chairs and takes a swig of his own beer and like looks at you again, Regin, and shakes his head, and he's like, you know, I looked for so many years. I was looking everywhere I went, and then I really I had no idea the ocean is such a big place.
Hold that thought.
Yes.
So I can slam one of the beers first, and then we can talk. Right, carry on.
You know, I was a sailor. I don't know what you've been doing with yourself, but you look like a sailor.
You were a sailor?
I was when I was younger. I was born here. My father worked these mines, and his father worked these mines, and my mother worked these mines, and her mother worked these mines. But when I was young, I wanted to get out and see some more of the ocean. So I hopped on a merchant ship and spent my time making my living that way. And it was grand, the sea in your hair, and I'm sure you know all about that. But the ship that I was sailing for had a run-in with some sort of enormous eel-like thing out near the Sea of Storms, and
Finn smiles.
Well, we needed some repairs, so we sort of hobbled our way into a little village that normally wouldn't be a place where we'd stop, but we got stuck there for quite a few weeks while the repairs were completed, and I mean, that's where I met a girl. That's where I met Fesliyan. So, and I mean, she was, the golden hair and the eyes like the southern sea, and when she looked at
Malachi goes to put his hands over Finn's ears.
When she looked at you, it was like you and her were the only people in the world, and I didn't know why she was wasting her time with a washed-up sailor like me, but she was, and so when the repairs were completed, I stayed on shore. I stayed with her.
So, was she or was she not batshit fucking crazy at this point?
Well, so she was... It was a bit like loving a hurricane, yes. It was... One day she'd be wild as the storm, and she'd want to go swim for miles and to set things on fire and just drink until we were dancing naked under the stars, and then the next day she'd be calm as a summer's. Yeah, he sort of sees everyone's expressions and calms down a little bit. And the next moment she'd be calm as a summer's day, and one minute she'd be staring out at the sea. She used to stand on the beach and just stare for hours on end, and then she'd come back inside and cry in my arms,
and you reproduced with this.
She had this. She was irresistible.
Guys, am I becoming my fucking mother? Oh my god, I'm just like my mother.
Are you feeling manic?
Kind of always, but I do that.
I don't know, seems like she had a lot more zest for life than you do.
Alright, go fuck yourself, Finn. No, carry on, sorry.
Well, and she had this magic, right, this dragon blood, which based on the lightning and the thunder I saw earlier.
And the wings.
And the brief flash of wings, I suspect she passed that gift on to you.
And the scales.
Yes, and the scales.
No, that's a separate thing.
Unrelated.
No, he's just dry.
Yeah. But she, when, on the good days, she was loving and funny and made me see a side to life that I never even knew existed. The trouble was that she got pregnant, and I think might have been the happiest day of my life when she told me, but we had no money. I what I'd earned from sailing was nearly dried up, and no one in the village trusted her, and they certainly didn't trust me, and so it was hard for either of us to get work, and we were subsisting all right when it was the two of us, but for a baby, it wouldn't do, so I did.
So, wait, you did want me?
Of course I did. Yes. I was so thrilled at the idea of a child that was mine and Fesliyan's and that we could raise together, and I wanted to show you how to carve rocks and how to bring something beautiful out of them and how to tie knots and
Oh, he's very good at that.
sail the seas and yeah.
I'm good at knots.
Yeah. That's good. I'd like to say that's my blood, but I don't know if I can claim that.
So why didn't you raise him?
So, as I said, there was no money, so when another ship came through, I went on it. I told Fesliyan I'd be back in a few months, and I would have earned enough gold that we could start a life for real, except then there were storms, and there were delays, and there were all the things that happen in the life of a sailor, and when I made it back a year later, she was gone. She was just gone. And I asked around in the village, and people said that there'd been an argument, that she'd given birth and the baby was healthy and beautiful, and everyone said that he had her hair and that he was a boy.
I was actually born with a full beard. That's a fun fact.
So, yes, But only a few months after the baby'd been born, Fesliyan got in an argument with one of the other villagers, and she... Apparently, what I was told is that she burned his house down and showed no remorse, and so showed no sign of wanting to pay recompense, and so the villagers told her she couldn't stay any longer, so she took her baby and she left. And I said, surely someone must know where she went. Surely she'd have left word for me of where she was going, but everyone said she'd left no word, that she'd just taken you and gone, and nobody... If they knew where she went, they wouldn't tell me. So, I looked, but Erebraer is large, and the islands don't do so good with communicating with each other, and it's a great place to disappear if you don't want to be found, so I never found her. And eventually I got to where my sailing days were done, and I came back to Mar Cuan, as I'd always intended to do, and I went back to mining, and that's where I've been since. So I didn't know if you were alive, or where you were. I didn't know if Fesliyan was alive, but
Yeah, she's not. Sorry.
No, that's alright. It's already... I've already mourned for her.
I mean, 20-odd years is kind of a blink of an eye for you, isn't it?
Oh, not that much of a... We don't live... We're not elves. It's like... maybe not as much as it is in the lifespan of a human, but I wish we could have had those 20-odd years.
You have friends who know magic.
What?
What are you saying?
I don't know. Regin was able to find you.
Were you? He, looks at you, Regin, what does this mean?
Well, I thought that was pretty random happenstance.
No, there was a scrying pool.
Oh, that.
So, I was playing around with a public phone booth, and I looked for you just kind of out of morbid curiosity, and I got underground, and I was like, well, he was a dwarf, so I guess...
Yeah.
Didn't really...
He gestures to the cave around you, and it's that makes sense.
I didn't look for you. I never really...
Why would you?
Yeah, never really looked for you. It's kind of just kind of happened. Your friends recognized me, which is weird.
Funhouse mirror, like your friend said.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
You guys have those here?
Fun houses?
Yeah, fun houses.
Oh my god, I would love to go to a carnival right now.
Great dwarven tradition. Did Fesliyan tell you about me?
Enough that I knew my name and that it was your name and where you were from, but not really beyond that. I mean, I was a kid when she. Well, it was kind of a mutual severance. She kind of just walked out into the sea, and I was kind of just like, well, so got on the next ship that came through, because what else am I going to do? And again, when you have a full beard when you're 11, you know, you can kind of pass for older. And never saw her again. And she is the same public phone booth. She died. And you know, you could say I got a lot of complicated feelings about it, because she. I'm glad you guys had like your summer loving thing going on, but she was a kind of a shite mother. So it probably would have been cooler if it was if I got stuck with you.
Yeah. I think leaving, regardless of what money my pride thought we needed, I do think leaving was the stupidest thing I ever did. And I've done a lot of stupid things, but that was...
Oh, so it's genetic.
The worst.
You shut your mouth!
No, I'm sorry, Regin. I wish I should have.
No, I get it. You were doing what you thought had to be done, and hell, maybe you were right. I mean, and it just...
Right to what, leave?
Yeah, to get us a better life or whatever.
So what are you gonna do now?
Well, right now I'm going to try and help fight the invaders who are crashing into my mine, which, by the way, and he turns his attention kind of to you now, Malachi, and he's like, you,
I would love to mine you.
Back off.
But he sort of like points at one of the like gemstones on your arm and kind of like at the wall, and he's like, you, where are you from?
Well, I was born south of the ocean, but I was raised on Fesliyan. Well, I have spent time in a few different places.
Sure.
Why are you looking at my cracks like that?
Sorry, it's just that... So, when Thoric said that we have, things in Mar Cuan that would be best protected from the Empire, and he looks around, obviously this is a secret that doesn't get talked about, but he leans in a little bit to you, and he goes... Perhaps the most disastrous to fall into the Empire's hands would be that generations back, when the founders of Mar Cuan were digging deep into the mountain, they came upon a fissure that led...
What?
Fissure, Fissure.
Oh, okay.
That led deep, deep into the earth. So deep that it didn't turn into ocean, and it's so deep that it became another world.
A Balrog of Morgoth.
They found themselves in another world of earth and rock and gemstones, and I'm not much one for planar theory or other worlds, but the elemental planes, I've heard them called. That's the real secret of Mar Cuan. That's what we really... The fact that we have a gate that leads to this other plane, that some of the minerals and the gemstones and the arcane minerals that we produce do not merely come from chipping them out of the rock. They come from trading with the people who live there, a lot of whom look quite a bit like you, young man.
Like me?
So that's why I asked. Like, yes.
Has Malachi ever seen another Earth Genasi?
You've seen other types of genasi. You've seen, like, you've seen at least one notable air genasi. You've seen water. There tend to be quite a few water genasi around. But I think you maybe have, like, never encountered another earth or a fire genasi for that matter. They're pretty rare, and you've never met anyone who looks exactly like you.
People have been there?
Yes, it's a rather long and arduous journey, and as soon as unrest started, we blocked up the entrance and moved away from it and kept it hidden. So even if we don't know, we do not know if Lithios knows that we have that here. But if they take Mar Cuan, they will find out.
Do all the dwarves here know about it?
Not all of them, but quite a few of them. It's a open secret of sorts.
Have you been?
Once. A few years back. It was just to the sort of the entrance where we trade with the people who live there. But it was...
Holy shit, Mal.
It's hot down there. There's like rocks, the liquid rocks. It's crazy.
Okay, so we're gonna need to go to there?
Right, but not right now.
We need to stop Lithios from getting to here to go to there.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so we're gonna fuck Retvol.
Well, maybe just kill him.
Hey, I'm entitled to my opinion about what I'm gonna do with that guy.
I whisper to Alden, wow, I really misjudged Reagan's relationship with Redfall.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Alden is also probably here. I don't know where else he would have gone.
Oh, hey, man.
Alden's asleep. Alden is, like, dozed off while gently bleeding.
He's very good at listening quietly. It's what made him a good spy.
So true.
Okay, so that's very interesting information to have, because we need to find somebody's
That's
mommy.
More just, probably just a thing for the future.
It's also very interesting information for a lot of the people here to have in case anyone were to get extorted for information.
Yeah, well, that's why Thoric didn't just want to tell you. Like I said, I've done many stupid things in my life. Maybe that was another one. I don't know. But you're my son. I feel like I trust you.
Yeah, I feel like I trust you too.
Malachi, like, gestures to himself, I'm rocks.
And you seemed like maybe you deserved to know.
Holy shit, Mal.
Wow, Regan, what if our families know each other?
That'd be fucked up, that would. Be fucking weird. What if your mom is just living in my dad's basement?
I don't like it when you phrase it like that.
Hey, many of us have lived in basements.
Yeah, it's like a portal. Anyway, that's the reason another reason beyond simply the mine itself, but why we really cannot let Mar Cuan fall.
Yeah, no, fuck no.
The king of Erebraer does not know about this, as far as I'm aware, which I know it was negotiated between Hefor and Anbara, and whether they were going to tell him, and whether they could trust that there were no spies in the court of the king of Erebraer, and anyway, this is all stuff that's mostly above me.
Oh, there are almost certainly spies.
That's what Einkil thought, so...
Alright, anything else in particular we should make sure to... I mean, we're gonna try and disable the drill, but should they attack again, where should they be steered away from?
Fortunately, they've busted in nowhere near it. It's like... I think perhaps the exact location, as you mentioned yourself, proprietary information that can be given out once we've successfully dealt with the threat.
Sure.
But you mentioned cubes. Yes, we did mine a few weird arcane cubes out of the rock, yes.
Oh.
They're up...
What do you do with them?
Yeah, we just saw we have them. It's not unusual for us to find minerals with strange arcane properties. So these were of the crystals to form themselves into a perfect cube seemed like an odd thing, but we didn't think too much of it.
That's minerals.
Has this been happening elsewhere?
Yes, and Redfall is very interested.
Oh, that's good to know. I will advise.
They are not
Turek.
natural. We've seen them form before. They're not natural mineral formations.
Oh, fascinating.
And they taste crazy.
Does this guy seem chill?
He hasn't lied to you.
He seems kind of horny, but, like, generally chill.
You can make an insight check if you want to just get more about his vibes.
Sure. Well, I don't know much about this man. It's gonna be a 12.
Yeah, he seems like maybe a little reckless, maybe not the person with the highest wisdom score in the whole world, but, like, he generally seems on the up and up and
Nice.
very thrilled to see Regin.
Wow, Regin, you've got a great dad.
I've got a great day.
Maybe, if you guys both live through this.
I have finished Finn and Malachi's beers.
Yes, that's fine.
I'm stressed, okay?
Alden, who again has not said anything, just gives you the rest of his.
Thank you.
Rhaelthor stands up and he's like, I'm going to go advise Thoric to move the cubes into a safe.
Malachi remains sitting so he can look eye to eye with
Yeah, he stands up, is eye to eye with most of you. Regin, would you walk with me a bit?
Yeah.
Well, to go speak with Thoric? Yeah.
Do we stay?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to, smoothly do.
Well, no, I didn't know if we should go talk to Go, Regin. Malachi gives him that look like, if you need us, call.
Yeah.
Regin, Rhaelthor, leads you back out into these tunnels, sort of walking slowly in the way people do when the walk is mostly just an excuse to have a conversation. And he's like, I am sorry. I know I'm glad that you're all right and you're here and that you got yourself here, but I would have liked to have been there the whole time.
Regin just stops and then just breaks down, completely.
Oh no. Oh boy. No, it's all right. It's all right. He pulls you in, which is he's so much shorter than you, but he stretches his arms up, and he's very strong for being he's certainly a lot broader than you. And so he's just patting your shoulder and making kind of little shh, it's all right. It's all right. You're here. You made it. You do that for a bit.
Some really fucked up stuff happened. And
it tends to do that.
And it always felt like it was her fault. Because I'm just like her, I think. And the guy with the drill, when I was locked up or whatever, not my fault. Dad, I've killed a lot of people.
His grip tightens a little bit.
And she never taught me how to control it, and I hurt a lot of people, and they put me away for a bit, and then Rightfall, like we said, he was doing experiments and shit with people who were like me, and Alden used to be, and it got taken away from him.
Oh.
Yeah, I know fucked up isn't the most descriptive thing in the world I could say, but
no, accurate.
I got nothing better to say about it. It's fucked up. And yeah, it was bad and it was scary, and then there's dragons there's there. This is all kind of coming out in a disjointed rush of tears and agony, and it's there's dragons, and they found me, and I got to meet other people like me, and people Mom would have been or should have been, I guess, and they taught me a lot, and Finn and Mal are great because they both have shit going on, and they don't really they don't mind that I do too, and so it got better, but it's kind of I can't really get away from it still, and now it's here, and you're here, and I came here because it was here, but then I found you, and I don't know, I'm just experiencing a lot of things, and
of course,
and I'm scared.
He stays still for a little bit after that, after you finish, and sort of waits until your breathing calms down a little bit, and then he pulls back and sort of holds your arms so he can look you in the eyes.
Like me holding my cat.
Yeah, exactly. So he can look you in the eyes, and he's like, if you don't want to go to this drill and face this wizard, you don't have to. No one would begrudge. We could come up with another.
I want to.
All right.
I gotta. and I'm gonna fucking punch his little rat bastard teeth into his face.
There you go. You certainly are. And then, after that, you'll still have all of this life. You know, all of these... You said 20 years was like a blink of an eye to me, but it's really not. It's a long time, and it's a long number of years to find something to do with. So you kill this wizard, you come back here.
And we carve rocks.
Yeah. And we talk and drink and sing songs, and perhaps there's more of the ocean you want to see too still, but it's...
Do I have siblings?
No, but you have cousins and aunts and uncles, and some of the kids almost felt like my own, you know, while they were growing up. Yeah, I never had any other kids of my own, but there's lots of other people around here that I'd love you to meet.
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
Yeah.
And then we got, oh, Jesus Christ, there's a fucking elevator to hell in here. There's an elemental plane. What the fuck is up with that,
Well,
Dad?
it's not hell. There's just lava.
Hell.
There's just lava.
That's
but
very
it's-
scary.
Yes, but it's beautiful. You think the gemstones we have here, the gemstones, it's like colors that don't even exist. Oh my goodness. I would love for you to see that as well.
Yeah, no, Mal, we don't, like, super know his deal, but, like, you totally clocked him, like...
Reagan's dad knows I'm gay.
Yeah, he's gay, and, he hasn't super, like, come to... Like, I think he knows, but, like, I don't know what he knows. No, but the point being that his mother, he, you know, like, we all have weird mother situations, and I guess she must have been an elemental in order to make him what he is, you know, besides being just, like, abnormally tall. Yeah, so,
I don't know how...
must be other doors.
Yeah, I'm glad. I could tell that there was something he was looking for, you know? Wanted to make sure I don't... Again, Thoric probably wouldn't like that I just told a bunch of strangers our biggest terrifying secret, but, just don't tell anyone, and it'll be fine. Listen, there was something... If I could, if you don't mind, I'd like to give you something before you, go to kill this wizard.
Sure.
He, like, lifts up his arms and, like, pushes back his sleeves. And you see, and you probably have noticed them before, but he has these leather bracelets, these, like, kind of like cuffs almost, with, like, bits of metal and gemstones inset with them, these kind of, like, thick leather bands around his wrists. And he, like, holds up his arm to you, kind of like as if he's, like, holding a shield toward you or something. And it's like, go on, like, punch my arm.
Oh.
I'm demonstrating. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
You think you're man enough to take down your old man, do ya?
Oh, this is male bonding. I'm gonna wrestle my father. Do you want me to make an attack roll?
You can just say that you punch him.
All right, I do not pull my punch.
Mm-hmm. You punch toward his forearm.
Do you use your brass knuckles?
Yeah.
As you do, this, like, amber-colored force field, like, comes out from the bracelet and forms, like, a translucent gauntlet over his forearm. You, punching with your brass knuckles and your, high-level self, punch past it, and he goes, ow! Okay, maybe not again, a lot of foolish things in my life.
Sorry.
No, but you saw that, right? These, and he, like, takes off the leather bracelets and, like, holds them.
Yeah, I didn't tell you I'm not only a sorcerer, I'm also, like, I have an anger problem, and...
Oh!
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm bisexual.
The sorcerers I've known are not so much with the punching, but congratulations.
Yeah, no, sorry, should have tipped you off.
He, like, takes your arm and goes to put the bracelet on, and as he's fastening them on you, he explains, like, these are from, my father gave them to me before I set out to go do my sailing thing. They do different things for everybody who owns them. They're supposed to... My father told me that they would bring out the best parts of myself, and I feel like they've done that. They're certainly useful for, when people are punching people. Most people are punching my, forearms, which doesn't happen that often, but sometimes it's happened before. Anyway, they're magical. They're meant to bring out who you are. And I want you to have them.
Regin bursts into tears again.
Oh, goodness, okay. It seems like you've a lot of
No, it's been like 70 sessions and I haven't had a good cry.
You definitely, this seems so warranted.
You're so valid, King.
Regin, you are now in possession of these. You feel them kind of like mold to your wrists. The refining gauntlets. These are a pair of artisan-crafted gauntlets that look like thick leather bracelets with bits of metal and gemstones mined from Mar Cuan woven into them. These gauntlets give a +1 to AC, and are designed to enhance the skills and attributes their wearer already possesses. What follows are the attributes that the gauntlets gain when attuned to Regin's Starkweather. First attribute is called Powerful Warrior. While attuned to these gauntlets, you gain a +1 bonus to your attack and damage rolls with melee weapons. 2. Born from the Storm. While attuned to these gauntlets, you resist thunder as well as lightning damage. Additionally, you gain a +1 bonus to your spell attack rolls and spell save DC.
Oh.
3. Dragon Blood. You gain the ability to sprout a pair of dragon wings from your back, gaining a flying speed equal to your current speed. You can create these wings as a bonus action on your turn. They last until you dismiss them as a bonus action on your turn. You cannot manifest your wings while wearing armor unless the armor is made to accommodate them, and clothing not made to accommodate your wings might be destroyed when you manifest them. And the fourth and final...
It's almost like they're made for you.
I'm very refined.
The fourth and final attribute is called Arcane Berserker. When you use a bonus action to activate your rage, you may also spend 2 sorcery points to make it an arcane rage. In an arcane rage, you may cast and concentrate on spells, and you may apply your rage damage bonus to the damage rolls of your spells, as well as your melee weapons.
Hannah, I have intense romantic feelings for you.
Wow, oh my god. Who knew this was all it took?
Oh god, I'm about to be such a problem.
Those are the refining gauntlets. Additionally, all of you, over the course of this conversation, may go ahead and take a short rest. Not a long rest.
I thought you were about to say level up.
No, sorry.
Sorry, drinking beers with my dad does not count as XP.
It doesn't equate plunging into a pool on the Lurkers Island and then getting showered with rain. Apologies. Regin and Rhaelthor have that conversation in the tunnels. He lets you take as much time as you need to cry it all out. And then he probably actually is like, I mostly just wanted you to walk with me so I could give you these. You don't need to come with me to talk to Thuric if you don't want to.
No, I wanna hang out with you. I mean, talk to him.
Okay, great. We'll pick up your friends later. So he goes back out, and you see Regin, it's been like 20 minutes, half an hour, or whatever it's been. Mar Cuan has not been attacked again. When you come back up to the war room, you see that people are still kind of talking, figuring out what steps come next. There seems to be more information now. There's like a map spread out, a map of the waters surrounding Mar Cuan. And you see that a space where the drill is has been like marked with a like brown X, and then a bunch of like smaller like red X's around it, representing submarines and ships and other things like that. Through some combination of physically going out there and looking and using magic, more information has been gathered about the like locations of these things. Rhaelthor explains to Thuric about the cubes and about how they're of particular interest. Thuric sort of like widens his eyes a little and tells someone to basically go like get those cubes that we've had just lying around with all our other minerals and put them in the, like, inside safe.
Get the cubes from the pile.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of the other two of you, Finn and Malachi, Alden comes and kind of, like, he's been sitting, like, next to you guys, and he was, again, just, like, he was very quiet during the whole conversation. But he, after, like, a few minutes after Regin leaves, he kind of goes, like, so, I can't...
Oh, Alden, you're here.
Yeah, hi. Yes, still here. Don't mind me. I can't breathe underwater.
Oh, we have...
Sucks to suck, my man.
Alden,
Yeah.
Regin has a potion, I believe.
Great. I was hoping.
If he didn't lose... I don't know if he kept it in his bucket or where he might have put it, but I hope he still has it.
It's amazing how nothing ever falls out of that bucket.
I'll ask him about it.
So, how are things with you?
Yeah, you got any mystery parents that need dealing with?
No, my parents were pretty normal, actually. Yeah, everything about my life was pretty regular, aside from the magic, up until...
Alden, regular guy, that's what I always say.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, bog standard.
Perfectly normal guy, that's what they call me. Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice for Regin to have some stability, you know?
Finn!
He raises an eyebrow at you, Finn. But in a, like, knowing way, rather than a, like, genuinely confused way. I think both of you have, like, high enough insight bonuses to be able to tell that, like, he's peeled the label off the beer bottle and is sort of, like, worrying it between his fingers. Like, he's on edge.
Hey, are you gonna be okay with going onto this drill?
Yeah, I'm good.
Is that a lie?
Oh, that's a great question. And yeah, I guess the axe can't really pick up on nuances, so the axe would probably just call it a lie. So yeah, your axe, like, goes off like, nope, incorrect.
I mean, that's sort of an impossible question, but is there anything that we can do? You don't...
No, I just don't let me get captured and everything else will be pretty okay.
Oh, don't worry, we won't.
Yeah, can do.
Great.
Now let's just remember, we're going there underwater. And I mean, as long as you're friends with me, that's a safe place to be. You know, I don't care what he brings to bear. I mean, we'll be able to get away if we need to. It can't touch us if we go deep.
Yeah, that's actually very encouraging. Can you manifest a sea monster? Is that, like, a thing you can do now?
Define manifest. I can think positively about sea monsters.
Well, I can do that, too.
And I can submit a request. I don't know, like, conjure sea Wait a second, I do know summon aberration.
So, yes.
So yeah, I can summon a sea monster. Not like a full-on kraken, but...
Great.
It's something.
So we'll be good.
Yeah. In fact, let me just make sure. And I'm gonna cast Summon Aberration on my spell storing ring.
Oh.
So that I have that in the tank.
Nice.
Okay.
We'll be good.
He, like, lifts his beer and kind of, like, clinks it against yours.
If things get bad, just find the nearest fish and grab on.
Okay.
And, you think Regin is gonna...
I think Regin's gonna what?
Once we kill him...
We're killing Regin?
No!
What? Malachi, I knew it would come to this!
What are you talking about, Finn?
Alden, get out of here, I'll hold him back!
Hey! You think him dealing the final blow is wise?
Regin? Oh.
Do you want it? I don't know, man.
Yeah, you guys could, like, rock, paper, scissors for it, maybe?
Yeah. I don't especially care. Just seeing him...
Is that a lie?
This is true. Just seeing him dead, I feel like would do a, well, I'm hoping will be cathartic. But if Regin wants to kill him, I don't know, I don't see any... Regin deserves it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you both deserve to kill the guy.
Yeah. A lot of other people do, too.
But you guys would tell us, right, if after you need...
Like if I need a hug?
I don't know.
Or a soda.
Malachi kicks some dirt.
I appreciate it, Malachi. This is unfamiliar territory, so we'll see. Let's just...
Yeah. Hey, if you guys want me to kill him, I can do that.
That would also be great.
Oh, what? Oh, that's on the table. I'd like to kill him.
Yeah, you can kill him too.
Maybe we can all take a limb and pull.
How many components do we have on us? Can we bring him back multiple times?
First revivify in the campaign.
Hey, I can cast my first revivify on this bitch if you guys want to kill him again. Yeah, but none of us, yeah. As long as Finn's up, we can get out of there, and Finn's staying up, so.
Yeah, great. I trust you guys.
Also, just in case we don't,
Uh-huh.
I think that maybe you and Regin should,
Malachi, I'm not a mind reader.
Malachi, I don't know if this is the moment. I don't know if this is appropriate.
Finn, cover your ears.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Well, I guess I'm not talking about premarital sex. You're not saying that you should do that, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I put a ring on it first.
He, like, leans forward and, like, puts his chin in his hand and is like...
I think that you and Regin are important to each other in similar ways, and I think Regan's made that very clear, but also made it seem a bit like it's a bit of a laugh, you know? But I just want to let you know he's serious.
Great. Thanks, Malachi.
And you're not so sneaky. What's his last name? Does he have a last name?
I don't know. I don't think you know his last name.
You're not so sneaky, Alden.
Did you forget his name, Malachi?
No, I would have said his last name, but I don't know if he has one.
No, I don't have a last name.
Oh,
yeah, so just
okay.
Alden is good.
Ooh, that's cool.
What do you mean you don't have one?
He's like Fabio
But not everyone has last names.
Maybe he's like Beyonce.
in so many ways.
That's what I'm always saying.
But also, just so you know, I care about both of you, but I care about Regin more. So if you do anything wrong, I'm gonna kill you. Not kill you.
I can't believe I'm getting a shuffle talk now.
Well, I just want to lay things out before anything gets going, and I can adjust as necessary. I need a plan. Oh, excuse me? Are you laughing?
No, go on. This is all very sane.
While Malachi's talking, I whisper to Alden, you could ignore like 30% of this, I think.
I find this sort of sweet, I have to say.
Oh, really? Oh, because if you fuck with him, then yeah, like you'll drag.
Regan's had a lot of shit to deal with in his life, and I know that you have as well. But frankly, if you cause any more shit...
Yeah. Frankly, I'm surprised that Malachi, unless they did, but I'm surprised that Malachi is beating Nell to doing this to Regin, so...
I spend a lot of time thinking about unique and inventive ways to kill people.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I'm really stressed out about this, Alden, so you need to be on your best behavior.
He, like, laughs and claps you on the shoulder and is like, got it, best behavior.
But don't be a prude.
That's a thing to worry about once we've, saved this city and the portal to another realm, apparently.
Yes, please don't make any moves until we are...
Unless there's like a dramatically appropriate moment.
Yeah, thank you, Finn.
I mean, unless one of us is about to die, then I guess maybe you should say something, but...
Actually, wait, why would one of us dying mean he has to make a move on Regin?
Not us. Us as in the group of the four of us.
Just because you want to see?
Well...
It's like, oh man, can't miss that.
At this point, yeah, I'll admit I'm a little invested, but...
I mean, I guess I'd like to think that if I was dying, then that would be the main thing people were focusing on, so, yeah.
At this point, it's at this point that Rhaelthor and Regin, like, come back.
Malachi, like, pushes Alden away from him. We were just talking about Finn's fishes and the minerals in these walls.
It's pronounced Fisher.
Malachi's axe, your axe is, like, pinging in your head. That was a lie.
Shut up.
Cool. Okay. So, you all have taken your short rest. You head back out to, like, the main war room. And Einkill and Hefor, like, explain to you what the various... Actually, frankly, Einkill's probably out being a bard. So Anbera and Hefor will, like, explain to you the map, and, like, this is the intel we have about where things are. It's kind of up to you guys how... I think, like, Hefor just, like, straight up kind of, like, looks at the four of you and is like, do you have a plan for how to not get killed before you get there?
It's called being level 11.
I kind of have more like a shopping list. Do we have... obviously, this is like a mining community, and I know that, you know, sometimes...
Oh, that explains it.
Right, no, that's why they're building down, not up. Yeah. Do you you have anything in the neighborhood of explosives, such as dynamite, C4, or ideally, do you have any rocket-propelled grenades?
Rocket-propelled grenades, no. But we do have explosives. Do you need them to be the kind that work underwater?
Ideally, yes.
Okay, we've got a few of those. Yeah, we can get you some of that.
And I think that it could be beneficial if we were to, say, for example, have a ballista that was able to fire underwater explosives. And we were perhaps able to, do a ranged explosive assault.
Do you have any healing potions?
Yeah, that too.
Let's finish with the ranged explosive assault first. How far does the range need to be?
Wow.
Are you thinking of being, all the way, outside of their threat zone and then shooting an explosive in? Or is this to create a distraction? What's the goal?
I'm thinking 100 feet, and I'm thinking ideally we just fire from behind, I mean, that's the perk of being incredibly aquatically adept at Finn, is that if he just circles all the way around behind, he's not even going to be seen at all. He won't ping their defenses, just launches something.
So Finn circles around behind, launches an explosive. We don't have enough explosives to just blow up the drill. We can probably punch a hole in the side, but then you're going to have all the attention of the fleet on you. Do you think you can move fast enough?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm gonna be straight with you. Malachi normally does the planning.
Well, if we punch a hole in the side of the drill, isn't that sort of mission accomplished?
Yeah, because...
I don't think it'll still work after that.
I mean, he's a wizard. He must have some sort of
Oh, yeah, right.
plan in place for water getting into his underwater contraption.
I don't know, maybe we should do this stealthy.
Alden nods, and he's like, I was going to suggest doing it stealthy.
We did fuck up his little tower pretty well when we were being stealthy.
But babe, I want a rocket-propelled grenade.
I feel like, what if we launched the rocket-propelled grenade at, one of the other submarines?
Or at the fleet.
Or at their ships that are above water.
Yeah.
They're normal ships, as one likes to say.
They're above-water submarines.
Then they're looking up there, they're not looking at us.
If they're focused on a surface-level attack, they might not be as prepared for us to board the drill.
Rhaelthor's like, we could certainly do a surface-level attack while you're getting into the drill. We could send some of our warriors to...
And I mean, I have, you might say some mastery over water. I mean, if we're trying to attack the normal ships to make a distraction...
We want to bring the drill down as far into the ocean as we can, I think. Since we'll be able to breathe down there, and should anything happen to them, they can't. Also, they need to be as far away from help as possible.
Okay. So, rocket-powered... It won't be rocket-powered. We've got, a big slingshot. Slingshot explosives at the ships, and you try and get to the drill. You'll have to find a door or something.
Or a window.
Or teleport.
Yeah.
Or that. Yeah. Alright. This seems doable. Hefor kind of, calls out, and he's like, can we get just, a bunch of explosives? Just a large amount, and also one of those big slingshots. And you see people are sort of scurrying around looking for them. Healing potions. We can get you a couple of those too. Let me see what we've been using a lot of them on injured people, but
No, that's fair.
this is important. We'll see what we can spare. They can rustle up to greater healing potions, which they will hand to you guys to distribute as you see fit.
Regin has one on his person, so Finn and Alden?
Okay. You get your healing potions. You see these other dwarves bring up these charges of dynamite from somewhere, a closet somewhere.
Classic closet dynamite.
And they start taking it up as the plan gets explained. They start taking it up through the tunnels to the higher vantage points, because Mar Cuan, right, is this large hunk of rock that goes up. So they basically go up to the very top where they will be able to kind of shoot down at the fleet of ships, where the Lithios forces that retreated are currently doing their own short rests, and, like, presumably planning their own next assault on Mar Cuan. But at this point, just like a little bit over an hour after the first attack was repelled, you see all of these dwarves and everyone go up. Meanwhile, the rest of you, Regin, Alden kind of like puts his like elbow on your shoulder and is like, "Do you have a water breathing potion?"
Yeah.
Wonderful. Your friends were a little bit worried that maybe it fell out of your bucket.
My bucket. What the fuck did they tell you about my bucket? Because my bucket is incredibly high quality, and just because
just because of the open mouth, it seems like it could lead things everywhere.
No, it has a lid. I put a lid on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Genius.
I did steal it from a haunted well, though.
Wow.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah, I remember the whole haunted well incident. I heard about it.
I rifle through my pockets. This is...
No.
Weed.
Not helpful right now.
Water breathing. There we go.
Thank you.
Later, though, we should,
Maybe after.
After we can hang out.
Yeah. He takes it and your hands, like, overlap on the bottle for a second, before he takes it and puts it in his pocket.
Is he doing that with intent? Do I register it?
Make an insight check.
Malachi's watching from afar with binoculars made out of Finn's hands.
Insight 19.
Ooh.
Malachi, I can't see over your hulking shoulder blades. What's happening?
Oh, here. Malachi gives Finn binoculars with his hands.
Malachi and Finn are too far away to pick up anything, but Regin, it feels like he, like, lingered longer. Like, he, like, kept his hand there while you guys were having a conversation about the weed, which was not necessary to do.
Huh. Wonder what that means.
Actually, Finn wargs into Nurgle as Nurgle is, like, circling overhead above them so we can get a really good look.
What do you see?
Nurgle's making helicopter noises, and we're getting the live stream from the air.
Malachi, all you get from out of Finn's mouth right now is, "Ah!
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah, so the, like, outlet and inlet from that pool is far too small for a person to fit through. It would be too much of a security risk if it was big enough for a person. But there is, like, another sort of, like, side passage, like a kind of back entrance to the mountain, that seems like less people know about and that also goes, like, directly into the ocean. Rhaelthor kind of, like, takes you guys around and down to basically let you out this semi-secret back door that's probably not being watched. He, like, claps each of you on the shoulder and is like, "Good luck." And then Regin, he, like, pulls you into a hug and he's like, "Good luck, son. I'll see you in a little bit."
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, never say that.
And you all, the four of you, sort of quietly splash into the water. As you start to swim over in the direction where you've been told the drill is, you can see that there is this massive drill just resting on the bottom of the ocean. Around it are 3 submarines, these, like, very rudimentary looking crafts that are clearly held together by magic rather than by entirely science, but they also are, like, they're plated with metal. They look vaguely similar to, like, what we think of when we think of as submarines, and they're sort of clearly patrolling the waters around here. You can also see above you the shadows of ships of this relatively small fleet that has come to take Mar Cuan.
As we're swimming towards it, I'm sending out a constant telepathic beacon of, "I need everyone ready for action."
Whoa, what kind of action?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but
Whoa.
Further instructions will follow.
A rave?
Maybe.
Wow! The fish are on alert.
I love this fish that knows how to rave.
It's an electric eel.
True. You see the shadows of the fleet above you. And as you start to approach, you see a, like, you're too deep underwater to hear anything, but all of a sudden there is, like, this fiery explosion just above the surface of the water, and then a little bit like a few seconds later, this sound, this distant boom, comes rippling through the water toward you. All the fish go, "Whoa, that is action!" As you see a few more
that means it's starting.
Explosions and activity happening up above, and you see the submarines like sort of start to drift up toward it, as if clearly that's where the greater threat is. The four of you, especially kind of cloaked by the power of the lurker, seem at least thus far to be going unnoticed as you swim down toward the drill. That's where we will end our session for tonight.
Yeah.
Diggy diggy hole.
True. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed that, which we most certainly hope you did, you can find us other places on the internet. We are at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Or you can swim on over to patreon.com/shipoffools if you'd like to support the show, support our artistic creation, and get access to a lot of fun bonus content. Again, that's patreon.com/shipoffools. We really appreciate each and every one of you who listens, but we double appreciate each and every one of you who subscribes over there. We have some people we need to thank. Thank you, as always, to Theo Golden for our logo art. You can find him at tgoldenart on Instagram. And thank you also to Lucas Mangold for our beautiful theme music. You can email him if you'd like it, lucascarlmusic@gmail.com. We will see you with our next episode on April 18th. And until then, we will see you on the open seas. Goodbye!
Dad, I've killed a lot of people.
His grip, like, tightens a little bit.
And...
Not in a violent way.
Cracks his neck.
Citizen's arrest.